he's playing and consistently playing that way.
Could you look ahead to St. Cloud?
Not yet. I mean, we know it's going to be a great
Could you
hockey
please
game.
look ahead to St. Cloud?
Yeah, well, you know what? I know what the game plan is already. You got to stay out of the box. You can't give them odd man rushes. So besides that, the technical stuff, the X's and O's, it's going to be about who wins one-on-one battles. This time of year, your team is what they are, and same thing with them, and you got to play to your strengths and make that and attack their weaknesses.
It sounds like you played better than last night, but getting through this series without really having your A game, do you look at it that way at all?
Yeah, I do. I don't think we ever played an overwhelming style of play until maybe there were segments, like 5-minute segments, where we were really good, like the last 5 minutes of the third, and then there was 5 minutes in the first overtime, and in the last 5 minutes before we scored, I thought we were hemming them in, and that's why we were trying to turn pucks up to play fast. And when we do that, like, they can't change, so then they're tired and they're icing pucks.
Just out of curiosity, did you play any marathon playoff games?
Oh man, I went back-to-back in the Calder Cup Finals when we won in Philadelphia in '98. We went 3 overtimes in Game 1. We went 2 overtimes in Game 2. I remember Game 2, I had a tough time lifting my stick face-offs. And they're back-to-back nights. That wasn't fun.
Who were you playing?
We were playing the Flames farm team. They had Martin St. Louis and Jim Dowd, and they had more NHL players than we did, but we won in 6.
The penalty kill, Monty, I mean, they came up with a couple of big power play goals, one to get back into the game and then one to tie it in the third, but they had the chance in the OT, but you guys came up big on that one.
We were really good on that penalty kill. Credit David Carl, he grabbed the penalty kill and, just asserted what our points of emphasis are, and on the other hand, our power play wasn't good enough. That's the worst I've seen our power play probably in about 6 weeks. So we got some work to do next week, because if we don't generate momentum on our power play next week, we know that St. Cloud is when they're running 30%.
Talk about your senior leaders, especially Grant Arnold. I mean, he got the call for the 5-minute major that got them back in the game, but they came up big again down the stretch.
Well, Grant's such a mentally tough kid. Things like that happen, and it doesn't affect him. He just thinks about the next play and forging ahead and trying to will his teammates. But I thought Nolan Zajac and Quentin Shore were phenomenal tonight. Zajac took over the game in the first period in my mind, and then he just kept breaking pucks out. And Quentin Shore, since January 1, is probably winning at 70% of his face-offs. I throw him over the board so much, sometimes I got to look at him and be like, can you take it? Can you give us 10 seconds? Win it and come change.
It was so long ago I'd forgotten, but Zajac set up both first period goals. You want him playing like that? Yeah,
I mean, that's when he's playing his best, is when he's supporting and he's active, reading the open ice. When he gets the puck in open ice, he's dangerous. And you saw the poise, especially on the Terry goal. He had to go a step around someone and then find him on the back door.